Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. This will end up as a touchback.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Great spot to start a drive in here. Ravens headed up 1st and 10.
Get it! Hawk 70! Hawk 70! Cougar 19!
They're going to throw here to begin the drive. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. He was looking for Mark Andrews. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Quarterback of his renounce, Kate, I'm not surprised at all to see him throw it into double coverage early. And that incompletion, well, it's just going to fuel his confidence that much more to keep forcing it.
Following the incompletion, we stay at the 35. It's 2nd and 10.
Ready! 70, Timberwolf! Mustang 19! 18, Pioneer! Warrior 70! Ready, right?
Here's a throw. It's everything he has under this one. This one will be intercepted. Kevin Winston with the INT. And the Bengals are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his first career interception. Well, I know I don't need to tell you, partner, but if you're going to try to get aggressive, really push a throw downfield like that, you have to be smart about how you do it.
Yeah, that is spot on, Kate. If you got to find that spot when you know the coverage won't be able to hold up, especially as you go 20, 30, 40 yards down the field. Hey, listen, these defenders in the league today, you throw a ball deep down the field like that, it turns into a 50-50 ball. More times than not, they can make a play and take it away, just as they did.
1st down, a run with Barkley. And he's going to get forward for a gain of about 7 on that run. It's 2nd down.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
2nd and 2.
After that little 8-yard scoot, here comes 2nd and 2.
Here we go. Stop! Stop!
Here's another carry for Barkley. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. It's a 4-yard gain, and that's going to get him across the marker and earn the 1st.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
On 1st down, here's Burrow. Throw finds Jamar Chase. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 12 on that one. And the Bengals have a 1st down.
Gun. Can.
Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Right back to Chase. He's got a Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals parlay the interception into points. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. One after, up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals drive out to an early 14-0 lead.
Ravens nothing.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Did not make an effort to even hit the landing zone, Brock. So they're going to gift him a drive starting at the 35. The Ravens in a very good field position as they come up 1st and 10.
60 Bobcat. Check mash.
Not deterred by that pick. He's throwing again. He's looking deep once again. It's another 1st half mistake. He's intercepted again. Kicked off by Noah Williams. And the Bengals are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to interception.
Hey, we know in this league, takeaways are a big deal, but you get interception and chunk yards with it. That is a gold star effort.
29-yard line.
Bengals getting set, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10.
12. Here we go.
Running right, it's Barkley. The stop is made, but not until he reaches that 17-yard line. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And a fresh set of downs for Cincinnati.
Bengals, first down. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Here we go.
In the red zone now. On him quick, and they bring him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate. When you put the ball in the air, how many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
2nd down and 19 yards to go after that sack.
11. 180.
Burrow out of the shotgun. Couldn't bring it in over the middle. Incomplete. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the intended receiver. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Well, they connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
Get set. Start.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. That one complete to St. Brown. And they're going to have 1st and goal as he gets this down to the 4.
It's a gain of 22 yards. That's good for a Bengals.
Here we go.
First down.
11. Thomas. Right in.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
They'll try and punch it in. And he runs it across. Touchdown. The Bengals take a 20-zip lead. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. It has been wash, rinse, repeat for them offensively, Brock, as, well, we all wait for this defense to find a little backbone before this becomes a runaway.
Yeah, I'm a little torn up here in this booth because you're exactly right. Offensively, this is just a machine. Surgical. Defensively, you're running the risk of being embarrassed here pretty quickly.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And he won't opt to bring this one out. He's content to keep it there in the end zone. They'll start their drive at the 35. Great spot to start a drive in here. Ravens headed up 1st and 10.
Come on. Get the Eagles.
Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. Likely's got it right side. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
That's not a big completion on a stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
60 bites this.
Gives to Henry on the inside handoff. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. It's Noah Williams who made the play defensively.
A humble 5-6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means. But one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
To the line. Here's 3rd and 3.
Panther 60. Panther 60.
Another run for Henry. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
On their own side, but only need an inch or 2 here, so they're going for it. Trying to push this past the marker. Up to the races, middle of the field. He does it. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens take a small chunk off that lead. Dalton Kincaid with the touchdown. He saw that running lane pretty early, you could tell. A quick burst got him to it, through it, and then into a foot race down the field.
And there's the challenge defensively with a group that has this much speed and athleticism. You're late for just a second. You lose your eyes for just a second, Kate, and he is gone once he touched the second level.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
All set up. Here's Luke to kick it away. Here's a return from the 7. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Cincinnati into formation. It's 1st and 10. Play action now. Burrow. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Here's 2nd and 10 from the 21.
11, 11, 11, 11. Here we go.
Barkley on the shotgun handoff. And a decent run gets about 4. It's going to be 3rd down.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
180.
On 3rd down, here's Burrow. Complete beyond the marker. And he will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40.
14 yards. And the Bengals 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
We're through 1 quarter of this opening weekend of football. 21-7 is our score. We're back to Paycor Stadium right after this. Time for our 2nd quarter. It'll be Bengals football to begin. They've got 1st and 10 here, looking to add to their lead. Straight ahead, here's Barkley. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11.
You know how we hear about teams and quarterbacks avoid targeting a stud quarterback, just throwing away from him? Well, maybe they should avoid running it anywhere near this guy. He's having no issue stopping these plays cold.
They break the huddle. It's 2nd down now.
Gun. Got. Can.
Burrow from the gun. Completed over the middle. And in a blink, they are up to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
Coming to the line for another 1st and 10.
Here we go. Big 13. Big 12. 12. Got.
Burrow to the air now. No place to go. Ravens take him down. And that sack quickly changes the tone of this series, Brock. It's 2nd down.
Kate, that was so good, really, on 2 levels there defensively. Number 1, with an athletic quarterback, you've got to keep him in the pocket. They did. And then more importantly, and in this case, you got to finish him. Job well done.
Looking to throw, Burrow. That's caught. He found some space. And this great effort winds up getting them well into enemy territory before he's brought down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
You just got to love that angle route. It's been around a long time, but think about it defensively, Kate. How many times do you see the backs out of the backfield or just run to the flat? The great running backs know how to plant their foot, sail that flat route, break it off to an angle, and break off the 1st down.
Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Handoff on 2nd and short. Excellent play defensively as they get to him behind the line. That's going to bring up 3rd down. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
11, empty. 11, 11.
They'll throw, 3rd and long. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. And he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals make it a 3-possession game. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals stretch their lead to 21.
Bengals 28, Ravens 7.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff.
For Cincinnati.
And he just sends this out and over the end zone, so no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball up at the 35 to begin this drive. The Ravens in a very good field position as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Panther 60. Panther 60.
Off the play fake, he'll throw. That pass pulled in by Henry. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out.
Sure showed off some mobility on that play. Got outside the pocket and easily found an open man.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Receiver gets it on the handoff. And the defense not caught off guard at all. They track him down after a small gain.
This is one of those real modest gains, Kate, that I like as a call. Yeah, it's just a little more variety to your play, but makes that defense wonder. Those guys on the other side of the ball think a little bit. This dude's not just a receiver. He may get in the run game as well.
And Bengals with an extra DB out there now. 3rd down.
Ready. Hot 70. Hot 70. 18 rattle. 18 rattle. Ready.
They're going to try and throw it here. A lot of players around this one, and it is intercepted. So we'll take the interception back inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds.
Well, we're watching the defense not just generate turnovers, but really add to them. A return like that, think about it. That's 4 or 5 plays that you just saved your offense from as they try to make that interception, yet another one, count.
First and 10 from the 32.
11 mighty. 11 mighty. Here we go.
They give to Barkley, left side. Now he's past the 25. And he'll bring it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. One after up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals grow their lead yet again.
35, Ravens 7.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Great spot to start a drive in here. Ravens headed up 1st and 10.
Ready. Cowboy 80. Let go.
Back to work after throwing the pick. Oh, this is getting ugly early. Intercepted again. And the Bengals are going to have it. After his 2nd interception of the season. Well, what better way to follow up one interception than by getting back out there and picking off another on the first play of the very next drive.
And think of all the work the offense just did on the sideline to try and recover. You can put together a good plan. Here's your adjustment. And in just one play, you flush it all down the toilet.
Well, even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. You can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain. Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Here we go. Side.
They go to Barkley again. And he's tackled with a first down yardage.
Danger, Kate. Danger, I say. You get this guy in the open field, and he is dangerous to take it to the house.
First down. First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Offense is set. First and 10.
Gun.
Going play action here. Burrow. Blitz is there, and he goes down. It's 3 sacks for the game so far. Brings up second down.
Second and
I'm fine,
19
ready?
at the Ravens' 38-yard line.
11 MT. Let's get set. Cut.
Handoff headed right. Buckley. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. The rangy Kyle Hamilton getting there for the stop. Let's see what they went with on third down.
Here we go. Can.
Third and long for him here. This one's in range, but it gets knocked away. Couldn't connect, and that brings up fourth down.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. Quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not 2 hands on the football. A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Okay, well, that one's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else we got here today. So that football coming out to our 35-yard line. The Ravens in very good field position as they come up first and 10.
Deputy 19 Chargers.
The drive begins with Henry. And he is stopped as he reaches that 46-yard line. They gain 11 on that play. And that's going to be a Baltimore first.
First down. First and 10 at
Come
the
on.
46-yard line.
Let's go.
Running once more with Henry. Crashes through a tackle. He's taken down, but not before he has this all the way to the opposing 40. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Flying down the middle with Henry. And the big gain followed by a little bit of a loss here. Defense getting the better of him on that run. They sent him with that sack in mind, Brock. We all saw what was coming. Still managed to clean up the play, even if it did come on the ground.
And you know why they call that a cat pressure from the secondary, Kate?
Tell me.
Because it's a C for corner and AT for attack, exactly what he just did.
And their next snap is going to come from the red zone, Brock. He's down to that 17-yard line. Give him 24 yards on that one. And that's going to be a Baltimore first.
24-yard gain on the play. First down.
60 Eagles. Ready? 60 Bison. 60 Bison. Let's go.
A give right side to Henry. And he's not going to be happy picking himself back up after this. They're sent backwards on first down. That's a nice quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
This one's caught. And this is down all the way to the 3. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
4 downs to get this across. Here's first and goal.
Let's go now. Viking 18.
Jency. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on first and goal. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's second. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. After the loss, it's second and goal from the 5.
Alert. Tag. 70 Lions. Ready, right?
A give to Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens chop some of the lead off before the half. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
And he's got a man complete. Ooh, and he can't shake the defense. They track him down in the backfield, and this two-point attempt fails.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
All set up. Here's Luke to kick it away. Fields this one at the 3. And this drive will start inside the 25.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
I'm fine, ready?
They've got first down here, but just 18 seconds to work with.
Here we go. 180. Stop.
He'll work against the blitz. Finds him on the crossing route. And he's down inside the 40 before he's escorted out. They're going to move the chains after a big play, 39 yards.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And that's incomplete. There's 7 seconds left. Time for 1, maybe 2 more snaps. Frying getting it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. So second down coming up.
Here we go, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. Gain of about 8 here. Nice pickup, but he stopped a second before he can move those chains. Now, just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break. Evan McPherson on for the Bengals field goal. This is going to be a 46-yarder. McPherson's kick is good. And just before halftime, Brock, they're able to add 3 to their advantage. So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
We'll see what the first half adjustments of the season are as they're teed up, and away we go in our second half. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for first and 10.
12. Let's get set. Stop.
Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And he picks him up about 4 yards there. Second down coming up.
That is simply a stay-on-schedule kind of run. Nothing more, nothing less, just right on schedule.
First down run, nabs him 5. Now second and 5. Off the play fake, Burrow. Throw left side, and St. Brown has it. And he's taken down as he takes this to the 38. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Just excellent effort on that catch. And a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
It's a screen to Barkley. Along the sideline inside the 25. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. That play good for 17 and a first down.
Another Bengals first down.
Here we go. 11. 180. Stop.
Now Burrow. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals grow the lead coming out of halftime. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals continue piling on to this lead.
Ravens 13.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff.
Cincinnati.
And And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Great spot to start a drive in here. Ravens headed up 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Airing it out to start this drive. Gets him on the quick hitter. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2.
Flag. Cowboy 80. Bobcat, chop 60, chop 60.
They're going play action. He throws a bullet to the That's grabbed inside the 30. And they're going to stop him after he gets this to the 26. That one goes for 31 yards. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were, and the QB just nailed it.
This one delivered off target, Brock. That's incomplete.
This defense, they had a plan. And they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
They'll throw on 2nd and 10. He'll set up the screen for Henry. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
So now here's 3rd and 5.
Let's go. Bracco 80. Ready.
Back to throw. He's able to hit Flowers. Caught. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
And the Baltimore
Hot
1st down.
70, hot 70.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Out of the gun, Henry. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
He's taken down behind
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, it came at the perfect time.
A momentary speed bump there on what has otherwise been a great drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Brought in. And he almost gets to the 5. He goes out at the 6.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Left side, gets it out quick, and it's caught. It's going to be short of that goal line, Brock, but not of the marker. They've got a 1st and goal.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
Ready.
Offense in position now. It's 1st and goal.
Here we go, here we go. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Go, Riggs.
Running back sent in motion. Jency takes this the wrong way. That's a loss all the way back to the 5. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
After the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 5.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Come on, set. Lightning 8, 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Let go.
And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens start the 2nd half with some needed points. Zay Flowers, the touchdown. Well, Brock, this one has not been good to them so far, but they are still fighting and able to get in there for 6.
Just a drive that was all about scratching and clawing. As much as anything, Kate, it was just a pride drive to go and get your job done.
No stranger to this in his career, Brock. John Harbaugh wants his offense to tack on 2 more.
Cowboy 80. Steady.
Got up the 2. He will get into the end zone. That's going to cut 2 more off that lead. No dice the first time they tried it, but this time, Brock, the 2-point conversion is successful.
Just felt like they were waiting for the right opportunity to try it once again. Not only to make up for the first attempt, but establish a little confidence from this spot. And who knows, maybe we'll have a 2-pointer that plays a bigger role when this thing's all said and done.
Has this at the 6. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
I'm fine, ready?
Bengals getting set, Brock. Here comes first and 10.
11. Gun.
They'll start this one out with Barkley. And he powers ahead for about 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35. They get 6 and a first down as well.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
Burrow setting up the play action. Pass it downfield. It's Chase. And a great play is brought to an end as this one reaches the 35-yard line. That one goes for 31 yards and a first down when all is said and done. So the big play moves him well past midfield, has him set up now at the 35. Burrow now on first down. Right back to Chase. Has room into the secondary. And he is going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals trying to end this before the final quarter. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. Going after up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals continue adding on to that lead.
Ravens 21. Evan McPherson.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Did not make an effort to even hit the landing zone, Brock. So they're going to gift him a drive starting at the 35. The Ravens in a very good field position as they come up first and 10. They'll go play action. And this one is launched downfield. Oh no, they get him yet again! And the Bengals are going to have it! And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his first career interception.
The Bengals take over.
You know what this is, Kate? This is the practice field coming to life, really on both sides of the ball. Right, you watch defensive coaches preach all the time, and they work on these returns to get to the near sideline, everybody to get a block, and then for those offensive players to show the effort to go chase that down so it's not a pick six. Yeah, it stinks for the offense, but that was the practice field coming to life.
And he is going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals parlay the interception into points. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. Ooh, baby, Brock, this one has gotten well out of hand.
You think so? I think this is utter domination. Going to be a lot of questions to be answered. I'm going to guess this is a press conference the coach isn't looking forward to.
Ravens 21. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And he just sends this out and over the end zone, so no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball up at the 35 to begin this drive. Great spot to start a drive in here. Ravens set it up 1st and 10.
Go! Ready.
Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. And they pick him off again! Picked off by Noel Williams. And he makes the house call. It's a pick 6 for Cincinnati. That pick 6 ought to spell the end to any potential comeback we might have seen out of him, Brock. This deficit might be just too much to come back from.
Yeah, if there was any hope left, they sure could have used some points. And they're going to have to get points now in a hurry. And that's for an offense who just threw the interception. Heading right back out there, you better flush it fast.
Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals tack on 7 more to their lead.
69. Ravens 21. Evan McPherson to kick off for
A quick chance at redemption after that pick 6 as it's sent away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Ravens in a very good field position as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Back to the air following that pick 6. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And this is going to end up incomplete. He really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection. Well, even with the pick on that last drive, partner, he is showing no hesitation whatsoever.
Well, in order to play this game, Kate, at this level, you've got to be aggressive. You can't let a previous mistake really affect your next decision. I'll say this as well. In the NFL, you throw into coverage too many times.
And they pick him off again! And the Bengals are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season. Well, we all remember they were able to turn that first interception into a touchdown, and now they get a chance to do it again.
Yeah, takeaways are A1. We know that. Every defensive preaches it, but when you could score off those turnovers, points off takeaways, that often leads to huge results for your team.
1st down, a run with Barkley. Still has some space inside the 35. Again, he's got room. And he'll bring it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. His 3rd of the game on the ground. Point after up and good by McPherson. And they'll continue adding to their lead.
76. Ravens 21.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Great spot to start a drive in here. Ravens set it up 1st and 10.
Ready, ready.
Henry gets it here to start the drive. And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
Henry, the Ravens ball carrier. He's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Okay, break.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
We've reached the end of 3 in our Week 1 opener. It's Ravens football. They're going to look for points here, no doubt, but might be too little too late for them in this lopsided contest.
On the jump.
This is 2nd and 6 coming up.
18.
Throwing now off the play action. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
That was a situation where I think the previous drive, really affected the decision-making there. Coming off a pick, he wasn't about to challenge the coverage. Instead, well, he just took his medicine.
Trap 60, trap 60. Here we go, here we go.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. And that one hits the deck. No fear from them trying to go deep on 3rd down. You love that. Don't love the fact they couldn't connect. 4th down coming up.
Once that quarterback broke the pocket, kind of turns into like a zone read option a little bit. Kate, you got a couple choices. Keep it yourself or try to force the throw. There was nowhere to go. He really should have used his legs.
Desperation time here. Has his man. It's cut by Andrews. And they're going to bring him down just after he crosses the 50. That's going to be a 20-yard hit on 4th down, Brock. That keeps this drive moving. Ball just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10.
60 Maverick. Get it. 60 Eagle. 6.
Setting up to throw. Finds him over the middle. And he's marked down. Looks like at the 32-yard line. Offense in a hurry up here.
17 more yards. That's a
7 Pirates.
Sticking to the air here. Escapes the pocket. Now he takes it, and he's out of bounds right at that 25-yard line.
Well, the QB made something happen and got some yardage when the play didn't develop right, and even got himself out of bounds to avoid a hit. The only negative at all is he couldn't quite get the 1st down.
2nd and 3 now.
Here we go. Set. Go.
They're throwing it. Down to the 10. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens making the scoreboard look a touch better. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. So the back does the work that time, Brock, taking it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, a running back in space can be an awfully dangerous weapon on a football field. Whether that's a designed route to him, a check down, you see what can happen, what kind of damage the elite running backs in this league can do.
Can't shake the defense. They track him down in the backfield, and this two-point attempt fails.
76.
They're going down swinging. We see here, getting ready for an onside kick.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
And the Bengals hands team does its job recovering that kick.
Hey, the numbers don't lie. The numbers tell you, Kate, time and again, it is so hard to recover these onside kicks. And when you got an opponent prepared for it, well, that makes it even more difficult.
Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. Running left, this is Barkley. And the stop is made as he drives this to the opposing 43. It's a gain of 11 there, and that picks up the 1st.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know you can set the table for more.
Here we go.
Going to the ground again on 1st. This is going to make it down to the 24-yard line. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
He will not score, but that does set him up, Brock, with 1st and goal, less than a yard away from the end zone.
That's such a magnificent run. Quick story time. My first NFL start. Ricky Waters does the same thing. Gets the ball inside and near that goal line. And I get in the huddle. Ricky says, give Ricky the ball. It's time to give Ricky the ball. You pay off the running back after such a tremendous effort.
So some defensive initiative in that goal to go, Brock. They take him down behind the line. 2nd and goal coming up.
Send a pretty clear message to the QB right there on that one. No one fooled for a second as they create the tackle for loss.
He's got a Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals Bengals continue adding to an insurmountable lead. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the touchdown. Extra point added on by McPherson. And they'll continue adding to their lead.
83, Ravens 27.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Okay, well, that one's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else we got here today. So that football coming out to our 35-yard line. The Ravens in very good field position as they come up 1st and 10.
Viking 18, Warriors 17. 19 Lions.
Airing it out to start this drive. Bengals get to him and take him down. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, this is a time where offensively you got to regroup. You got to get in that huddle. You know, and quarterback is the most important leadership position. Everyone's looking at you. And as a QB, after taking a sack like that, golly, you got to flush it, instill some confidence, and move this ball forward.
He's trying to push the field. Oh, brother, it's another interception. And the Bengals get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
I'm fine, ready?
Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. Here's Barkley. He starts out this drive with a nice gain of 8. 2nd down.
That is just a great drive starter. What every offense wants. Gives you a little bit of energy, a little juice, and now a really manageable 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go. Stop.
Barkley again here on 2nd. Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So, Brock, that means 3rd down coming up.
On 2.
Offense headed to the line. Just need to punch it 40 yards to reset the downs. Barkley gets it on 3rd down. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
That's one as a running back in this league, you got to convert every time. Teams really don't care. If you're a Hall of Famer or an undrafted rookie, you can't get 1 yard for a first. They're going to start holding auditions for someone who can.
11 MT. Let's get set.
1st down, and they go right back to it. Nothing doing on the outside there. No gain on the run. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2,
no
ready?
gain on the play. Brings up 2nd.
We've reached the 2-minute warning from Cincy. Bengals looking like they'll start this season with a win. Now, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Burrow on the play action. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
The Ravens bringing out an extra defensive back on this 3rd down
11,
play.
11. Here we go. 11, 11, 11, 11.
They'll throw 3rd and long. Dumped off to his running back. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. Gain of 9 yards on the play. And the Bengals have a 1st down.
1st and 10.
You know, they call the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
So a new set of downs.
11,
Here we go.
11.
1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Barkley on the shotgun handoff. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
So the Bengals pick up the win in this one. And this isn't just any 1-0 start for them. They pick up what could end up being a key division victory to have later in this season.